Hello guys, today we are here for another tutorial. Before to continue, I ask you please to subscribe to my channel to support my work, to give me like, dislike, and leave me a comment, ask question. We will see a sound that I programmed on my Waldorf Quantum, and I won't spend 2 words about this synthesizer. To me, this machine is fantastic, has incredible synthesis possibilities, and the only limit that I can see it's my fantasy, because this machine is totally crazy. And besides of its characteristics that are enormous, it's also a very good sounding synthesizer. Sometimes we can see some synthesizer that have a lot of characteristic. If you see on their specification, you will see a lot of things, and after they don't sound good, or maybe they are not so useful. And this is not the case. This synthesizer, I'm really happy that I bought it. I was a little bit at the beginning, when I bought it, I was a little bit not sure about this purchase, because in internet there were some demos that for me didn't make justice for this synthesizer. And after I saw 2 demos that they were really different, and I see, oh my god, how it sounds. It's incredible. So let's go to the sound and let's hear what I programmed. Let's go to dig deep in this sound. Let's start from the oscillator 1. As you can see, is a sawtooth wave with 4 channels and a little bit of detuning, and we have the second and fourth channel that are an octave above, and the main pitch is 0. This oscillator, it's going into the digital format that, as you can see, it's an high pass filter, 12 decibel per octave, the nave model, with a good amount of resonance. And Before to going on, as you can see here, the filters are in parallel mode. So coming back to the oscillator 1 and go to the modulation matrix. Here you can see that the first voice is sequencer parameter 1, and here it is. In this case, I did not record the note, so if you look at the notes lane, there are no note, no variation, only 8 steps. This is because I wanted to create different melodic lane for each oscillator. And when you record the notes on this note lane, after you need to set the second and the third oscillator, like if you want to make them playing other notes, you need to move them, the values as offsets of the notes lane. And for me it's something, it's a little bit difficult. For me it's better to, you can try if you want, it's a different way of approach. So let's go on parameter number 1. These are the notes of the oscillator 1, and as you can see here, they are not integer numbers, because to have the perfect pitch I had to set decimal number. Of course, I was referring to a tuning tool that was showing me the exact note that it was playing. Let's come back to the modulation matrix, and here you can see the LFO1 that is modulating the digital former, and the LFO1 is set on triangular wave. It's synced and it's working on 16 bits, and it's in global mode. Global mode, that the LFO is not retriggered every time that a note is playing, a new note is playing. So it will continue, keep going without stopping and restarting. And this, I think, it's all what we need to know about the oscillator 1. The oscillator 2, it's also a sawtooth wave. In 4 kernel are used, a little bit more detuned, and okay, here the second and the third kernel are 1 octave above. It could be the first and the second. I set these two. And here you can see that the waveform will reset every time a new trigger is coming. Let's go to the modulation matrix, and here we can see that the sequence parameter 2, it's modulating the mix, so the volume of the oscillator 2. Let's go. Here are on parameter 2, and so as you can see, it's only one note repeating, regardless to the sequence that I programmed for the oscillator number 1. There is also a constant that I applied for the oscillator 2 mix that will a little bit crank up the volume of the oscillator, the overall volume of the oscillator 2. It's going only to the analog filter. The analog filter, it's a 20 dB per octave, and it's working in dirty mode. If you remember, here we have these 6 type of filters. And also there is a good amount of filter envelope that is modulating the cutoff point. As you can see, it's 1.94 seconds, but it's in exponential mode, so it goes down very, very fast. And this is how much I am. It's around 78. So wait, let's continue with the sequencer parameter 3 that is controlling also the oscillator 3 pitch. And if we go here and we go in sequencer on parameter 3, these are the 2 values of the 2 notes that are playing. And then there is the sequencer parameter number 4 that is modulating the oscillator 3 mix, so the volume of the oscillator 3. As you can see here, there are 3 steps, so the oscillator number 3 will play only on these 3 steps. But, where is the LFO number 3? I will just disable this modulation of this low frequency oscillator, and I will come again to this sound, to this oscillator. So these are the 3 notes, but the LFO number 3 is set on a square wave with clock 1 octave synced, and it's of course it's in poly mode. And as you can see here, is modulating the oscillator 3 mix. It means the volume of this 3rd oscillator. So if we make it active, of course, if you let's come back here, and we will see that the wheel is controlling the gate of the sequencer. So when I go up with the wheel, the gate will be shorter. And it's also giving a lot of feedback to the delay. Let's go to the delay. As you can see here, it's 50% dry wet and the feedback is 50%. So I'm increasing the feedback. Let's come back. The LFO2, it's modulating the analog filter. It's not tempo synced and it's going 14 seconds and it's a sine wave. And of course it's set on global. Here we come at the funny part. The modulation pad X, it's modulating the attack time of the amplifier envelope. So this is the amplifier envelope, nothing special. When I will go up with this one, the attack time of the amplifier will be longer. But also the sustain level will be at 0 and the decay time will be very short. And there is also an amount for the chorus effect that will go wet. As you can see, here is the chorus and is set to dry. When I will move this X pad, it will go to wet. And also this is modulating the volume, the overall volume, because I want to show you disable engage all three oscillator. As you can see, there is a drop of volume, so I tried a little bit to compensate the drop of the volume. The LFO3 we saw before, and the LFO4, it's modulating the warp of the oscillator number 3, that is triangular wave. I forgot to mention about this oscillator. It's a triangular wave with the pitch plus 2 octaves, and one kernel is set to an octave below, and one other kernel it's on a fifth. Also, it's working in reset, so it will be reset every time. A new note will happen, and it's going by 60% on the digital former and 40% to the analog filter. And also with the oscillator, the LFO number 4, it's warping the wave shape of this, but it's doing it very, very slow. It's 40 seconds. So let's go again. On the effect, I have a little bit of EQ. The delay that you saw before, nothing special. I just cut a little bit of low frequency from this delay. I unlinked the left and the right channel. The reverb, just a little bit, and of the color it's a little bit dark. But if you want, you can play and have fun. And this is the chorus. That is the default chorus, only just I touched the dry wet knob. So we finished with this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it, that you liked it. As I told at the beginning, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, to leave comment, like, dislike, share, ask me question, whatever you want. I will be happy to help you. Have a nice day and see you on the next video.